What's up, everybody? It's your boy Zaafir. I'm here on the Turntable Teachers. My new album, Summer's Never Over, is available on my website for download exclusively, so make sure you go check it. And here's my album analysis.
And welcome back. I'm Mike with the Turntable Teachers, and class is officially back in session, and we are here with another album analysis episode, our fourth of six. We still have two left to go. Obviously, you've heard Washi, you've heard Cameron Iandolo, and Hero the MC by now, and now we have our very special guest, Mr. Zaafir, is with us.
Hey!
One of my
What's poppin', brother?
Not much, man. It's so good to have you back. One of my favorite people in the industry. I actually have a little bit of an announcement for you guys here. I teased this on one of the previous episodes. Zaafir is going to be the co-host for our fourth and final part of the podcast called Let's Get Comfortable. We have a brand new spin-off series coming out at the top of the year. More details to come on that. We're not going to spoil too much, but just realize that this is the guy that's going to be coming back for that specific show on our platform. So, and I'm really thrilled to not only have you.
I am super excited about it, brother. I'm super excited about it. It's going to be great. It's going to be enlightening, and I think it's going to be exactly kind of what everybody needs, you know. And I 2020 kind of set the platform for it. It helped us get here, so I'm super grateful, and it's going to be amazing, man.
Me too. No, I'm like I said, I think this partnership between myself and your label AOA, I think it's just we're gonna really do some great things, man, and have some awesome conversations, and like you said, necessary conversations too, given the year we just had, you know what I'm saying? And so hopefully this year was like the ground to talk about some difficult conversations, and then 2021 we'll work through them, you know what I mean? I think that's really the goal. But so anyway, more to come from Zaafir in 2021 with us. I mean, I'm sure on the music end there'll be more too. But yeah, let's transition there. I mean, this of course, this episode is the album analysis episode about his brand new project, Summer's Never Over.
Wait a minute, on my way now. My new things sent the new text, so I'm on my way down. Got new friends, cause my old friends living in the same town. Chilling in the same place, chilling with the same crowds. Buying all the same routes, smoking all the same loud. Trying to find my way up, trying to find my way out. I just have to press on forward. And I don't wanna waste this moment. I'm getting everything I wanted. You want me, babe, controller. And I just have to keep on rolling. And I just have to keep on going. I am on a mission, please, to find my peace. Cause I be on the new things.
So you did this very uniquely, and as people heard from the opening, that this is available only on your website right now. To download exclusively for free. So we will link that in the description. So make sure you guys go head to his website. It's only Zaafir, correct? Or no, officially Zaafir, excuse me, right?
Officially Zaafir.
Officially Zaafir.
Yeah, man.
Linked in the description, and you can download the EP right there. So I guess that's my good place to start. You know, why put an album or an EP, let's call it? Why put an EP on your website for free? Like, what was the thought behind that?
Yeah, well, I might have to correct myself as well too, because it's actually a tape. So the reason why though I put it on my website for free was because I just wanted to connect. That was my goal. My goal was to just connect with fans and connect with people, and it was my way of just reaching out and making sure that I can give back. So anyone who was already on my email list got it first. They actually got it way before I even put it available up on my website. So if that's something that does interest you, make sure you subscribe to my email list. But it was really something where I started looking at how a lot of things are being done and how I can connect with more fans. And I thought, what better than just to put it on my website? Don't get me wrong, Spotify is free, and a lot of people have Apple Music or Tidal or, even like SoundCloud or whatnot. But when it comes down to it, one of the things I thought about is if SoundCloud shuts down tomorrow, if Spotify shuts down, or their server goes down, or if Apple Music server goes down, or wherever goes down, or if Instagram goes down, if Facebook goes down, where's my platform to reach out to my fans? Where's my actual platform, right? So it's something where if I'm putting all my eggs in a basket on another platform, then they own my fans. They own my fans' contacts. That's the only place where I can reach them. So my goal here was to really start bringing in the hardcore fans, the family, as I like to call them, to the website to get connected. So that way I can have a means and a way to really continue to keep in touch with them, not just only on social media, but on a more intimate level as well. So they get exclusive content. Like I said, the tape, they heard it first. They get pictures, they get videos, they get things that I don't even post on social media, or I will never post on social media, because it's a family thing. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's the reason why I actually put it out on my website.
Yeah, no. So that was the initial thing that struck me the most was your release strategy for this, and that is a good point. That's something that I've been talking about, having conversations with. It's like Instagram's good for what it is, but I think a lot of people rely on one or the other, whether it's like Instagram or just YouTube or just TikTok, whatever they're on. You know what I'm saying? I think you need to start thinking about how do you market yourself to a vaster majority of people, but then also what do you do for those type of fans that are your most loyal and that always buy an album, your super fans, exactly. And I think something like a Patreon page is like I think been the equivalent of trying to like weed out those people that will really like no matter when you drop a piece of merch or when you drop a project or whatever, or when shows were a thing, like a concert, those items are available for your patrons, or like you're suggesting they're just your family, which I think that's a pretty cool way to put it, to be quite honest. So
I appreciate that. That was the goal, and the reason why it was free was because I didn't want to ask for money. I'll be honest with you. In the beginning, I was just like, it's been a minute, especially I felt like it's been a minute for me. This year I did put out Touchy, and I think I put out 3 a.m. earlier this year as well too. So I have music that I put out this year. But it was something where I haven't put a body of work really out just quite yet. So it's been a minute for me, and it was more like, I want to reconnect with my fans. And also, for anyone who's heard the project, it's a whole nother vibe, so it's not something where, and I've been hinting at it forever, I think on our last time we talked, or our last podcast, I was like, I have some more melodies coming, my R&B background, like this whole thing. I've been hinting at this for a long time. In full transparency, I've had these songs written and actually recorded for a long time. It was not, I just haven't, I wasn't able to get the sound that I wanted. The mixing and some of those things. So I was working on it until I got it to the point where I wanted to. And I was like, you know what? Like I got to get it out. And it's, as everything, I feel great about it. I stand behind everything I put out the minute I put it out. And, it's where it needs to be for the world to hear it, and I was like, yeah, why not give it to my fans for free?
Yeah, no, and I think it's great that you did that, but also at the same time, I thought the exact same thing when I was listening to this. And you with me, you've hinted that many times. You've said, even whether it's on the podcast or off air when we're just talking on the phone or whatever, and you've told me all the time, you're like, yeah, I love, even last time you were on the podcast, you were saying, I love Afrobeat music and I love dance hall and reggae and pop. Like you were kind of talking about some of these other genres that are often pushed more further into or really have been pushed further into the underground as of late, I feel like. And I feel like the only artist that really started to bring that into the mainstream for a little while was Drake, weirdly enough, what I mean? Out of all people.
Actually Jake, funny enough, Drake was, I think his first Afro hit was One Dance,
right.
And he brought Afro music into the light it's always been there. Let's not make sure that's not it. You know, you've always had Burna Boy, you've always had, you know, Davido, always had these people out. You know what I'm saying? It's always been there. But Drake was the first one to shine a light on it. And once he shined a light on it, it became more popular and people started listening more and then it started becoming out more. But it was something where like I've always had a love for it, you know, and I've always like was attached to it, and as it's always been, you know, a part of me in that sense. And you know, my goal as an artist is my goal as an artist is to touch all different genres that I can and be able to express myself and also blend that into hip hop. That's what hip hop's all about. Hip hop is about blending and about, you know, expanding and pushing the further limits out and, you know, that kind of thing. So I absolutely was like, yeah, of course I'm going to do this, you know, and I got some other genres on the way too, you know.
Let's go.
So it's yeah, man, it's been great. And the Summer Never Over mixtape has just been like, it's been a beautiful experience. And I think it's also been like my sound. It's no different from, you know, the hip hop I do or the genre that I touch now. You know, if you love my hip hop, you're gonna love this, you know. And it's I've had the feedback of, oh, this is your sound. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is a whole new. Oh, this is incredible. Like, you know, and I'm grateful for and blessed to have all those compliments. You know, I've worked really hard at it. Like I said, I've actually had these songs done for years, not for like months or days. I've written these songs for years, and I was like, okay, they're done, but how do I stay true and authentic to this genre, or how do I stay true and authentic to myself within this genre? Right. And starting off something so new, instead of giving up on it, instead of just dumping it and taking it off the hard drive, I just left it there. And I was like, okay, come back to it, and touch it and tweak it and all those other kind of things until it became what I needed to, until I became the person I needed to really put those music songs out. So
awesome. No, I love that. It's great sentiment too. And for anybody that's listening to this now and has not listened to our very first episode with Zaafir, I believe it's guest speaker or Night School 10, I believe. So it's definitely down there. It was about a year ago to the day, actually, or not to the day, but around this time a year ago that it actually released. But it actually roughly, right? It was like November-ish.
It was around this time.
Yeah. So I know this is coming out early December, but yeah, I think it was pretty sure it was like, yeah, around November time. But either way, regardless, roughly a year ago when you came on, you talked a lot, but first of all, one of the all-time classic episodes in our catalog, in my opinion, like, and others feel the same way. So just so you're aware, but, I'm sure that won't be the last, obviously the last classic you have in here, because, you know, granted you're going to be on the podcast a lot more often in about a month or so. But, in terms of you, like, you talked a lot about, you know, how well-traveled you are and how much you've, you know, toured with, internationally with some shows and things like that, and you were telling me a lot of the connections you've made with international artists. Did that potentially play a role in helping you to finalize and craft this sound at all, or did that not have as much impact?
No, it absolutely did, and because it's experience, right? It's exactly. A life experience, yeah. So it absolutely did have an impact on it. I haven't got the time to really spend more with those artists as I would have liked. However, being able to study the art, you know, yeah. And, you know, I've said it, I'm pretty sure I've said it. And if I haven't, I'll gladly say it now. I live on that stage, man. The performance part, the live performance part is definitely where, you know, I shine. So being able to study the art and hear the music live, the authenticity of it, versus just the recording or just seeing the video, really helped develop my how-to, like, yeah. Okay, this is how I gotta shape it. And it's because when I write music, it's not only a lyric, it's not only a beat, it's not only a vibe, it's not only a hit, like, it's not these things. It's also like, how is this going to translate? Right. What am I saying? What's the story? How do I get this person to move to what I'm saying? Because I want them to move here. Mm-hmm. So how do I get that out? And then being able to see it and then hearing that genre more and more and more, and then seeing how people react to it and people move to it more and more and more live. I'm saying, okay, okay, like it's a feeling. It's, you know, it's not, and that's something that, you know, I've been coming to as of late, that everything it's a feeling, you know, and touching more of that. And as I've been traveling, as I got to spend the time, you know, seeing these artists and engaging with these artists, and it's really helped me develop. It's really helped me develop this project. Like I said, like I've had the songs written before, but they were on pause, and then I was able to kind of come back to them and say, got it.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I just felt like that had to have some type of impact, you know, just you being there, just the, like you said, the experience, and you know, just hearing, you know, how other artists that are doing this type of dancehall Afrobeat genre, like, you know, how do they do it? What are some techniques or strategies they use? And then especially like seeing them perform it is to certainly, I'm sure, helpful too. And yeah, I agree. I mean, the first time I ever saw you, you were performing. So that's why you right away, that is definitely one of my favorite parts of you as an artist for sure. Not Zaafir the person, definitely just Zaafir the artist, no doubt. But so anyway, man, so this is a 5-track little mixtape here, I guess, that we got going. That's on your website to download. Of course, like I said, again, linked in the description for you guys to check out after this episode. But yeah, you kick off the mixtape with a song called "Good Luck."
Cause you're working from 9 to 2. There's only room in my mind for you.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about the makings of this song, and also you know, why you chose to kick off you know, the EP with this one.
Yeah, so I actually kick it off with New Ting.
Oh, sorry,
but
hold on.
I got second with Osaka, and the reason why I kicked it off is because of the whole story and the outline of this project, right? So, as with everything with me, it's there's always a story, you know. As long as there's a story to tell, that's part of it, and I want to be able to tell, you know, a story that everyone can relate to. It also something that, you know, I've lived and I've experienced on some level. So this whole "Summer's Never Over" concept came from the idea of what we would all maybe call a summer fling, right? So, you know, you meet somebody in the beginning of the summer, it's exciting, you know, you got this whole vibe with them. It's you're feeling like you want to travel. All these things start to happen towards the beginning of the summer, right? And that's kind of where New Ting kicks off. You know, New Ting is this whole idea of moving forward, you know, not looking into the past, you know, letting the past year go, letting the school year off, you know, all that kind of stuff. Just like I'm focusing on forward. And then "Good Luck," the reason why I put that next is because of the feeling you get when something's new, right? So you have a new thing going on. It's all well and good, and now you're feeling good. You're feeling like, yo, like I feel invincible, you know. And that's kind of where "Good Luck" touched off as. But it really got into the nitty gritty as well too, of the habits that we have inside of our, you know, freshly new relationships, or these summer flings, you know, like, you know, in my phone with the fine tooth. So, you know, I'm in my phone, like, just always in my phone, you know, like looking for that text from you, you know, because you're working from 9 through 2, you know. So it's like, oh, okay, so I'm waiting on this text from you. I want to hear from you, you know. And everything that we're saying right now is all authentic. Oh, I love you. I feel for you. Oh, I miss you. You know, this, like, you know, it's all of that, you know, and it's embracing who I am, and, you know, I don't have to change myself. You know, I met this whole thing. And that's kind of where I kicked it off with that. And then next after that, it's a song called "Worth It," right? And this is kind of like, I would say that "Good Luck," it's a quick tape, right? So "Good Luck" will be the peak at this point, right? It gets no better than this. And then we have the song called "Worth It." And now it's like, I'm explaining that I have some flaws. You have some flaws. We all have some flaws. Now, in the beginning, we don't see it because it's all new, right? It's a freshly new thing. But now we're towards the middle, and this would probably equate to during the summertime. I would probably say, summer kicks off in June, so you're looking at July. I would say maybe August, right? So now we're like in early August, where it's like, okay, you know, I'm worth your time. I know that we have some issues, and I know that you have some issues. I know you're looking for someone who's not going to lie. You're looking for someone who's going to be the right person for you. You know, you're looking for all of this, and I am this, you know, but I do have to work. I do have these other things I have to go. Like, I want to spend my time with you, but I do have these things that I have to do, you know. But don't worry. Like, I'm worth this weight. I'm worth this pain, essentially, you know, or this ache, of not being able to spend all this time with you, because, you know, everything else we have is great. And then from there, the next song is called Sweetness. Again, one of my personal favorites as well. And that is not the low point, right? It's the, I guess it's the end point. It's the conclusion. And it's not bad. It's not meant to be bad. It's not meant to be sad. So at this point, we're hitting September. We're hitting back to school. We're hitting, like, okay. But now we're in the relationship, you know? So it's like, why are you always mad at me? Why are you always fighting with me? Why are we fighting about these stupid things? Like, we don't, like, you know, we should be enjoying each other versus this fight, you know? And that's kind of the story that Sweetness starts telling. It starts telling, like, you know, I find my solace in you. You're everything to me. You're my sweetness. You know, like, I don't want to fight with you about stupid things, or like this past stuff. We had this perfect fling, you know, or this perfect relationship all summer, and I don't want to fight with you about these things. And it's, I kind of write it in a place where it could be over. It could be still going. We don't know, right? There's no conclusion to that song, really, besides me saying, oh, you're my sweetness, and I find my solace in you. And that's it, you know. And it's the reason why I love that song so much is because I have my brother Khalil on it. It's like our first, like, official song out. And, like, man, I'm telling you, if you haven't heard it, you gotta listen to his voice. Like, my brother has an amazing voice. Like, I said it on the podcast, I believe, before. He has an incredible voice. So, like, and we just kind of wrote it from that perspective of being like, okay, well, you know, here's one person in this situation, and this is how it's happening. And then here's one person in a situation with another relationship, and this is how he's handling it, you know. And it's like that whole thing with Sweetness. So it concludes it there. Good Luck Rhythm is actually the last song, and it's really funny with this one because I concluded it this way for many reasons. The first thing I want to do is I want to say that if you were following me on my Instagram, officially Zaafir, then you would know, if you were paying attention at the time, and you would get the idea of how old and how long I've written these songs, because Good Luck was something I put out there as an open collaboration. So I wrote the song, I went on my story, and I was like, you know what? I want to write one of those, like, authentic, you know, Caribbean songs where it's just like same rhythm, different person, different vibe. That's all I want. I went on Instagram, I was like, anyone who wants to write to this, go ahead. And I had people ping back. They're like, yeah, send it, do this, do that. And I sent them all. Sent them all the track, left my part the way it was on, you know, Good Luck featuring Osaka. And they all wrote to it, and they all sent it back to me. And I was like, oh, vibing out to it. And there was a point in my time I was like, you know what? I'll probably just, like, do something crazy, right? Like, put all these rhythms on Spotify as one tape, nothing else, and just leave it like that. No one's done it. Might as well just do it. See what happens, you know, like. And then I was like, you know, like, maybe I want to do some more to it, and it sat. So when I met Osaka for Good Luck, he was perfect for that track, and I was like, I gotta get him on. Like, I mean, like, if you haven't heard him, make sure you check out his Instagram. He has some dope music out, and he was just perfect for it. And we hit this crazy vibe. He's like one of my Nigerian brothers, straight up, like straight facts, right? So after he got on it, I was like, all right, I got to find a way to kind of, like, conclude this project, but I want to conclude it with a bang. So I came across Good Luck. No, this is what happened. I had another song that I was going to put on there. It was called Boss Town Girl, and I was going to actually start the project with that. Okay. It was called Boss Town Girl. I was going to start the project with that, and it was this whole song about, again, you're a boss up girl, and kind of just being like, oh, I appreciate the woman that you are. So I wrote the song. Of course, like, I'm a fan of it. I liked it. I sent it to the producer who made the beat. He was like, I'm not feeling it. Ooh. And you know, I respect all producers I get to work with. And you know, this was a beat I was blessed with this beat. So I was like, all right, if you don't rock with the song, I'm not gonna put it out. That's just what I'm gonna do, because I was blessed with the beat. I'm not gonna disrespect it. I don't want to put something out that you don't really vibe with. You know, like, I would want us both to vibe to it. I'm not gonna change it, you know, because like I vibe to what was written, and so I'm just gonna, you know, not put it out. So then I had to get filler at this point, right? So I was like, crap. I was like four songs. I'm stressing with 4 songs. I'm like, 4 songs, like a demo, you know, like 5's more good. Again, I'm like, you know, what's about a good amount of songs for someone to ride to work? You know, I need to put on something. Everyone has about like a 20-minute ride. It's about average 30-minute ride. I need something else. And then I'm going through those Good Luck remixes I did. I'm like, what if I just like slap them all along together? Just everybody slap them all along and just make the song like 10 minutes long, whatever. So I'm doing it, and you know, we were talking off air about mindset, and one of the things that I'm working on is I'm just working on, you know, being more open about, you know, my mindset. So I had some people on that rhythm. Well, I had a person on that rhythm who I don't talk to anymore. We haven't connected in a long time, and I was like, do I put this out? Do I not put it out? You know, like, put them on it. Boom. I was like, you know what? All the interest in music, all the interest in love, like, past is past, let it go. Like, you know, put them on it. So I put them on it, and I start mixing this out, and I'm like, yo, this is kind of banging in a different way. You know, like, everyone came on this track with a whole different vibe. So I'm like, but it all smooth. And I'm like, all right, it's tough because, like, man, some people recorded on, you know, everyone recorded at home. So the mix is not perfect, but I think the mix is perfect for what it is. You know, so like it's just kind of, for me, gives that authenticity of like, COVID, everyone's in different places. So I was like, all right, cool. Like, you know, I got this rhythm. I'm like, I got this one. My boy, Doc Z, killed it on one of the remixes he did. I loved his, I put him on it. My little brother, Jair, he doesn't even rap, dog. Like, he doesn't even rap, but like he killed it. So I was like, I got to put his part on there. And I got a beautiful, like, her voice is amazing. Beautiful singer, so smooth, so delicate.
I know exactly who you're talking about too.
You got to treat as such. Good. And I put her on, like she killed it. And I was like, I got to put her on that. And like, so I put her part on it. So I got Breeze on it, and I put all these people on. I'm like, it all has a different vibe. So I'm like, now see, I can't like leave my verse the way it is. Like, I gotta kind of like change it now, because I have this whole song with Osaka. So I changed up my verse, fell in love with the verse I wrote on that one. Like, so I'm like, crap, do I flip him now? like do I flip him? Fell in love with that verse. I was like, yo, listen, like, it's a whole vibe. And then like I put it out, and then when I looked at the project, I figured that, you know, I would just kind of bring it all back to the Good Luck charm, and even the everyone's verse leading up to it. It just blends so well. So it just tells us, I feel like it tells the whole beautiful story almost through. So yeah, man, that was the whole breakdown of Summer's Never Over, and why kind of like I had, you know, Good Luck in the beginning, how Good Luck Rhythm kind of comes to the end, man. It's a journey.
So so thank you for that whole thing. It was incredible and so much to unpack. But there's I gotta say, I like Good Luck Rhythm a little better. Listen,
it's
good, bro. It's good. It's good. And there's, like you said, you brought somebody. That's cool now, knowing the story, the background story behind it, because I felt like there were so many. It almost felt. It almost, not like an orchestra, like, but it just felt like a lot of people like just kind of coming together and working together. It was almost like one of those songs that, like, remember like It was a long time ago. I can't remember. Like, it was Michael Jackson and like a
We
bunch
Are
of
the
other-
World, or
that
We
We
Are
Are the
the-
World.
Yep, yep.
Not quite that. You know what I mean? But that's like at least how it felt a little bit. You know what I mean? Like obviously, like you're saying, everyone did it remotely. The mixing. Put it this way: it's the dance hall COVID version of.
It's the dance hall cover version of We Are the World. Listen, man, that's a huge compliment. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it all day. I'm gonna take it all day.
That's
no
what
shame
it-
in that. Absolutely. Thank you,
No.
bro.
Oh, you're welcome. No, it's people probably listen to that like, what are you talking about? That's just
where'd you
the
get-
comparison's bad.
Where's Michael
But
Jackson? Is that what-
Hear me out. No, this is what I'm. Yeah, and I'm glad you knew the name of the song because I don't. But I should have known that, to be quite honest. But either way, that's what it reminded me of. That type of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's just this collaborative thing. I don't know. So knowing the story about it now is interesting because at first I didn't know what the point of it was. Like I didn't get it at first.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And I almost coming into this still didn't quite understand it. I thought it was just maybe like a remix. I was like, I have no idea. But I mean, in essence, it kind of is. But like it's not your typical remix. You know what I mean? It's you made it almost a hey, like everyone writes this song and like let's just see what comes of it. Like that's super cool, man. I like that.
Yeah, and it was a, like I said, it was a great experience. It happened when it happened, and it's one of the things about me is that like I'll do something and like I in my head have the idea of what's going on, and that constantly maybe changes and grows. And you know, first of all, shout out to all the artists who got on it, and shout out to all the artists who like worked with me on it, because it's been a long time. Like I said, these songs years, fam, and it's one of the things where like I go through my creative process, and I'm like, what's the best way I can present this? You know, like, and it doesn't always take years. I have music that I've written 2 hours, days, or whatever, and put it out, and it's done. But this, like I said, from the growth of everything like this on this one, but it was just, I had my boy Jordan actually tell me, he's like, you know what it kind of felt like? It kind of felt like one of those like old school hip hop, like everyone get on the beat remixes. Like, what was that one with my goodness.
Hopefully I can return the favor. Give me a little context.
It was a UK singer. She was on the hook. They remixed the song. It had Lil Wayne on it. It had
shit.
My goodness, I am dying here. And I know when this comes out, everyone's gonna be like, oh my God, this fucking idiot. He doesn't understand what I'm saying. Like,
I wish I could help you. I
oh
should
my
be the
God,
guy to
it's
help
gonna
you.
hit. It's gonna hit me. It's gonna hit me. And if I'm gonna figure out what it is. I like stripes, Adidas. Mommy scream, Poppy, no mas. Run up in it, just me, no mas. Run up in it like I got 4 thighs. No one has swagger like these 4 guys. No one on the corner like swagger like us.
Swagger
That's
like
what it
swagger
was.
like
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it swagger
yeah.
like us? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Swagger like us.
yes.
Oh, okay. That's
So-
I was MIA.
Yeah,
MIA.
yes.
Sampled
So-
from Paper Planes or something like that, like one of her songs. It was the sample.
Yep. Yep.
Jay-Z, T.I., Kanye, and Wayne, I believe, is what it was.
Yep.
What that song was.
Yep. And they were like, oh, it's almost like the dancehall version of that. Like, it's just, it gave them that
Okay,
feeling
that's a better
of like
comparison.
a old school beat and having just a bunch of people jump on it. Because let's get real, like, no one really does that anymore. You know, like, it's
True.
you got
True.
people who are like, let's do something, or like, so it's 2 people, or like, this is my
Right.
group. You know, but you don't
Exactly.
really have someone who's like, we're not a group. We're all individual, you know, artists or whatever. But hey, you know, fuck it. Let's just put 6 of us on a track and see what happens. You know, like, you don't really have that. And then for everyone to do such a beautiful job, and because they are practicing and mastering their art to do that, is incredible. And when you start to think about the idea that none of them heard each other, none of them.
That's true too. I didn't even think of it that way.
You know, like, it's not like, oh, I know that, you know, Doc Z has this part, so I'm gonna write this to kind of this. No, none of them heard anything from each other. They all wrote it just hearing me, and also hearing an old verse that I record to it. And then they wrote their part, and it just was so beautiful. It all just blended together very well. So, I mean, like, again, that's what happens when you take your time, right? That's what happens when you try something new, when you, I don't know, share the spotlight, you know, a whole bunch of different things. So, you know, shout out to all those artists for that, man, because it was incredible. And
That's sick.
it really put the vibe to Summer's Never Over, you know?
Yeah, yeah. I was curious as to, like, it almost sounds like it was a puzzle piece, like a bunch of puzzle pieces that you had to put together, right? So it was like, is that how kind of was to kind of figure out how all these verses are going to work together, I guess?
It was and it wasn't. So believe it or not, the first thing I did was I said sonically, how is this going to fit? Because again, I'm open and transparent about it. It was all recorded on different mics. You know, I've reached out to some artists and they haven't had the regular vocals to send me. Like they only had the vocals with the music that they could send me, and things like that. And I was just, you know, I was in a space where I'm like, I obviously want things to sound as best as they absolutely can be.
Right.
And I believe in presentation, mastery, art, all that.
Yeah.
I believe in all of that. You know me. And anyone who knows
definitely.
me, or believe it or not, anyone who's seen me knows this, you know? So it's not like I was just like, oh, just throw it together and whatever. No. So for me, I was like, okay, sonically, how am I going to make this work? So what I did was I listened to everyone's part first and I said, okay, this is how I'm going to have to do it out on a map. Then I said, okay, what's everyone saying and what's the story? So I listened to that. And then I said, okay, how is this going to flow better? Who can come after another with everything? And then I looked at it and I said, okay, this is how I'm going to do it. So Doc Z comes first. And my whole goal with Doc Z is it was just to like, boom, like just kind of hit a hole, like just hit him, because I feel like his approach on it was such a, rhythmic and melodic with his voice. Give me Kama Sutra. You know what I mean? Like all that was like, he was just like, he was all in. I was like, okay, immediately, like I need Afro. I need to get the rhythm down. I need to get this out. That's Caribbean. Like I want to get people to move. And when you hear Doc Z's verse off the rip, you're going to move. It's at least I do every single time. He sets the tone. And then after that, I was like, okay, boom. And then now I need to come into, you know, the hook. Know that times can feel a liquor rough. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool. I got the boom. We got that. Now I need to keep it going. And I'm so proud of this dude, man. My little brother, man. Like, Jair, he just, when he wrote his part, it shocked me. I don't like, you know, because my little brother has never shown any interest in like music like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not that like, not like it's a problem or anything like that. He just hasn't shown interest. He's like, yo, this is just not what I do. You know, like
right.
my little brother is just, you know, I'm gonna go get my money. I'm gonna go, you know, work hard. I'm gonna do what I do. And that's just it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, my brother works hard, you know what I mean? So it's like, it was more like, I was kind of like shocked, but crazy here. So he came in and he did his whole thing. He's like, you know, I'm gonna write good luck, and I'm gonna write like, yo, like I got my peace with me, and I'm never alone. You know what I'm saying? So like, good luck if you're gonna try this. And I'm like, oh, okay, all right, let me see what's going on here, fam. So he's like, yo, I got this. And then like, he's also, I'm gonna write it like my woman, and then like I also got her with me. And I'm like, okay, all right, I like where you're going with this. And he's like, all right, cool. And he's like, he's writing, and he just killed it. So I'm like, okay, his part needs to come next, because I wanted to give it the space to shine. And I felt like if it came early on, you can really set the tone. And then also, I feel like his voice was very similar to mine. I mean, we're family, right? So like his timbre and kind of how he attacked it was like a young Zaafir. So I was like, okay, I definitely know I'm going to be putting myself last. So he needs to come early on. It's going to set the tone. Is that Z? Who's that? I don't know who that is, kind of deal. Boom. So he's next. Then after that, I was like, okay, rhythmically, now we're in a place where I got to keep people moving, right? And at this point, you're kind of in a trance. So Breeze, that's the artist name that he went by. I haven't spoken to him in a long time, so I'm not sure what he went by. But I have years since I've worked on him, and he's recorded that a long time ago. So, and he just kind of like almost like a chant. Shorty, lean on me, yeah. You that feel my heat, yeah. Something in my eye, yeah. Killing you, girl, can't lie, yeah. You know what I mean? Like just straight, like almost like a trance. And I'm like, cool. So now we're at a point where like, if this song is playing in any party, hands down, somebody is grinding on somebody. Somebody's getting pregnant. I don't care what it is. It's happening tonight. Okay, so I'm like, this is the part where everyone's getting. I got house party in my head, man. Like, come on, fam. I'm thinking like someone's winding up on somebody. You know, pull it. Like I'm seeing all of this, fam. So I'm like, all right, his part comes next.
Great.
And then I'm like, okay, so now we have all pretty much the hip hop parts left and done. And then, like I said, I think her Instagram name is L Eyes. I want to give her Instagram out because, again, like, her voice is so delicate. Just make sure, listen, when you watch this podcast, just make sure you check my story again, officially Zaafir. I'm going to be posting all these artists up because I want them to all get the shine, especially that's due for it. But her voice is so delicate, so smooth, so delicate. I've actually spoke with a studio engineer. He was like, listen, I love her voice. He's like, oh man, like I wish we could re-record her part, like get her in the studio to really like, he's like, you got to treat her voice real delicate. I'm like, I know, I wish. But she killed it again. And she brought a whole nother dynamic to it. It doesn't, and the thing that I loved about it is it doesn't slow down so much the beat as it does all of a sudden. You are now transported to a whole nother song. You know, it's still Good Luck, still the same vibe, still the same pulse, still moving, but all of a sudden it's like, boom, everything is like slow motion. You know, you got somebody whining upon somebody in slow motion. You're seeing sweat falling down somebody's face in slow motion. It's all of a sudden slow motion, and it's like, there she is with her voice in the middle of the whole dance floor just singing out this song, you know? So, like, It was just like, I had to put her there. Her verse is what was like, okay, I need to write something different now. And immediately I kind of played off hers when I came in on that one. And I was like, I gotta play off what she was saying, because she's speaking about like, okay, like I only trust you. I'm yours. This is us. And I'm like, okay, so this is perfect now, right? Because I got these people in the beginning were all talking about how like Good Luck. We're talking about it. Kama Sutra. We're talking about, yo, I got it with me, my girl. I got my peeps. You know, we got the vibe going on, and now all of a sudden we're pulling into the whole like we're coming in closer to like it's you who I'm with, and you who I'm talking to, and now we're here. So I'm like, perfect. Summer's never over. This whole track list and what I was writing out is fitting here. So I gotta write something now that's gonna conclude that to a place where it's like, you're here and I'm here too, and now like, and this is kind of where we're at. You know, we're in a party. And again, same thing I was saying about Summer's Never Over. You know, we are together, we're not. You know, it's not about that. It's about just that connection part. And that's kind of how I wrapped it all up. And it's a vibe. It's a vibe.
No, it really is. It's by far my favorite on the listing here. The whole thing is totally just a nice, chill, relaxed vibe, and really just very enjoyable. But it's funny you said that, because as you were going through that and you were towards the end when you were explaining it, I think this song is a good testament to really the entire project as a whole, because like you said, like it's like, oh, we're in this it's a new thing, right? We're like excited about it. We're going to show off our significant other and all that stuff, right? And like everything's great. And then it gets, towards the end of the song or end of the project, and it's like, okay, we're here now. It's both of us. Like that new honeymoon phase has kind of settled in a little bit. Like, where do we stand now? You know what I mean? And right. I think that, in a relationship, that is important, right? Like a lot of things. Like I think this project highlights a lot of that, where it's like, we do get so caught up in new flings and new relationships quickly. And that's why, I feel like I'm not telling anybody else how they should, do their relationship or anything like that. But, we all know people. You're probably thinking, well, maybe you're one yourself at home right now, right? Where you get into a relationship a week later and you're texting your friends, your family, like, oh, he or she, they're the one. Like, this is it. And then it's done in a month, and you're wondering why that's continuing to happen, right?
Right.
I've had those moments before. Trust me, I've gone on like one date, right, with someone, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's the one. And then like it's not, you know what I mean? And then you realize
we all have, and the thing
exactly.
about that is that, like, I think that's the beautiful part about writing, Summer's Never Over Again. It was about finding something that we all have, something that, we can all relate to.
Mm-hmm.
And again, our experiences with it, and we've all had experiences of it. This is just my experience of, what a summer fling could look like, you know what I'm saying? And like what it is and what it be. What has I experienced? What have I seen in my past relationships?
Right.
So like, it's something where like it's such a connection. It's interesting that you look at when you break down Good Luck Rhythm like that, because it must have been subconscious unintentionally that it came, I lined up the songs like that, because it was something where like when I was listening to it, like I'm listening more sonically, like I said, I'm like, okay, how do I make everything shine? And then like I'm looking for a story, but I'm not depicting the story like that so much. I'm just looking at the story. It just so happens, I guess, the story laid out perfectly in line with, with the tape. And yeah, man, like, like I just sing, just everybody, go download it. Don't let me say it no more. Go download it.
It's free.
When you download it, you're gonna be signed up for my email list. So do that too, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, like
it's free, guys. I mean, there's no reason not to. But and it's just, and if you've never heard Zaafir before and you listen to this project or this mixtape, you're gonna think like, he's like this, dance hall, Caribbean style artist, and he's not. This is like nothing that he's ever put out before. And if you're a fan of Zaafir, you already know that as well, that this is a complete left turn for him. But you know what? I think for you as an artist, one that was necessary. And I think that there's every so often, you don't want to get caught up in the same sound doing the same thing all the time. You want to challenge yourself. You want to, get yourself out there with different types of sounds, work with different people, work with different artists. And I think that, in creating different types of music, it'll only make you a better artist in just the long run, I think. You know what I mean? In terms of, practicing and taking these risks with some of these types of not only the sound, but you took a complete risk with the release aspect of it too. It's like, what, let's just this was the year. You know what I mean? Like if
it definitely was.
This was the year to do that. It really was.
The results of this came out actually really, really strong and really well. With the marketing that we had put behind it. It came out really well, and I couldn't be happier about how it translated. And I took a risk. It's different, but like I'm an artist, but I'm also a songwriter. You know what I mean? Like and that's the thing about it, is that like this was all a part of me. It's no different. Mom's from Barbados. Like it's no different from anything that I've heard or grew up hearing. It's just my chance. It was my time to tackle it. So
exactly.
Man, like, yeah,
it's great.
Again,
no, so like I said, congratulations on the project. Congratulations on just really just your growth as an artist. I think that is really in essence the important part here. And then I'm glad it's getting good reception and people are enjoying it. And I think that you sat on this in just the right time, and I think you put it out at the right time. I think this is a sound that wasn't really like something you would expect to hear in like November at the start of winter, but I think it's something that was necessary, because like you're saying, right, that feeling, you can have that feeling even though the colder months are ahead, especially up here in Massachusetts. You know what I mean?
So
like,
it's about the summer fling, right? So the title, Summer's Never Over. Why do we have the start of Summer's Never Over? Because if you keep the passion alive throughout your relationship, then there's always a flame. You're always going to feel the heat. So therefore, summer's never over. That's the idea behind it.
Perfect.
So that was the title named why I had Summer's Never Over, is because it's about keeping that flame alive within yourself. So it's like, it's like you got to keep that, whether it's passion, hope, alive. But again, in this story, I'm specifically talking about a summer fling and how like great in the beginning, towards the end, everyone's ready to cut it off for whatever reason. But like, it's as long as that heat stays alive throughout the time. The summer's never over, because summertime is the vibe that everybody starts connecting. Summer is the vibe where it was like, oh, I'm going here and meeting this person. I got my new team, you know. So
True.
stuff
Yeah.
going on, you know. So why you mad when you come home? Why your words come off strong? Why am I always wrong? I know you're tired and your days all long. What are you trying to prove me? You're acting so cruelly, confusing, abusing, just spewing your words. I'm different under pressure, and I need you to ease them and let up. Everything I do, you are fed up. Oh, I can pick all of the truths and be better. You're the one I could fight to. All the things in my mind too. All the things that we ride through. What I'm trying to say is you're my sweetness. You're my everything. You're my sweetness.
Summer's never over. On Zaafir's website, head to www.officiallyzaafir.com. Once again, it is linked in the description. You can download it right there. You will become an email subscriber as well, and so that way you can keep up to date with everything that Zaafir's got going on, really going forward. And fans of ours, he is coming back. Different type of podcast for this one. Again, I'm really excited to do this with Zaafir and the slew of guests that we're going to have on for Let's Get Comfortable. But I really think this is going to be one of the more important pieces that we've and early sections of our podcast that we're going to have when we look back. And I'm like I said, I'm just super excited for that, and so happy to have Zaafir as a partner going forward with the Turntable Teachers. So I mean, you guys obviously already know we got the Right Mind partnership in the works, and now AOA and Zaafir are joining the Turntable Teachers team. But like I said,
honored for it, man. I'm excited for it, big time.
Me too. Really, I'm thrilled to have you. You're one of my favorite people in this entire business, and we've just really got a good thing going, and I'm excited.
The feeling's definitely mutual, man. I say it all the time. Like
Yep.
I hear a lot of podcasts, and this definitely is one of my favorites to come on, and I enjoy it every single time. It's incredible. Working with you is incredible, which is obviously this makes sense on why we would work together. Just the vibe and the message and everything that we're looking to hand off, and what Turntable Teachers already stands for. So I'm excited. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and just the opportunity to share with the world and just really do our thing.
Agreed. No, I completely agree. And there's a lot that, like we said a little earlier, there's a lot that that needs to be discussed and talked about, and and we're gonna get to it hopefully as much as we can, or all of it rather. But like I said, I'm just very fortunate to have you on the team. You are family now. You're a part of the Turntable Teachers family now. I know you're a big family guy, so you know what I mean. We're all family here. And again, so from us, our family to your family, I hope you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving as well. All right, hopefully everybody had a really nice Thanksgiving. We got 2 more album analysis episodes on the way before the end of the new year. Again, a little limited series that we're doing with this. But once again, this is Zaafir's time. And thanks so much, Zaafir, for joining back. And like I said, he will be back soon, people. Make sure to follow him on Instagram at officially Zaafir. And stream the rest of his music on any platform, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your music. And once again, thank you for listening. I am Mike. This is Zaafir with the Turntable Teachers, and class is officially dismissed.